with another video. It's your boy Alpha here with Common Tech Videos. Today I want to talk about my experience with the Pixel XL 2, or the Pixel 2 XL. First of all, I just want to go ahead and start off with the unboxing. I just don't kind of want to do an unboxing by itself. I kind of want to give you a little bit more feedback than that. So ultimately, when I first got the package, it was yesterday. So I've had this phone for about 24 hours. So I got the package yesterday, brought it to work, unboxed it. As soon as you unbox it, you see you get the leaflet that says it has a Project Fi information. I don't have Project Fi personally, but if you look at the back of the box, it says hashtag Team Pixel. So it's letting you know you with the real now. Alright, so once you take the box out, you cut the little plastic strip off of it. And actually I almost unboxed it backwards because I was so focused on that Team Pixel. So flipped it over the right way, unboxed it, and took the phone out first, put it to the side, and you immediately see manuals first. It's like a little box with manuals and a SIM card, SIM ejector tool. After you take the SIM, after you look at that, the next thing you're going to see is the transfer tool, which they use that for transferring information from your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, or any other phone for that matter. One side is USB-A, other side is USB-C. The next thing that you have after that is you have your USB-C and USB-C cable. That's going to hook up to the power brick that you have there. The power brick this time is a little bit different. I believe it's 3 amps, 5 volt 3 amps, as opposed to 2.4. So it's supposed to give you 50% battery life, I believe 30 minutes or so, or something like that. We're going to see. And then of course you have the dongle, the infamous USB-C, the 3.5 millimeter dongle. That is where our future is going to be, unfortunately. I don't like it, not a fan of it, but here we go. Alright, so once the phone was unboxed, I powered on the phone. You see that G logo and you see where it is. You know what it's about. You're representing that Team Pixel. So of course I did see a little bit of blue on that display because it was a white display, but otherwise it still looked crispy. And so first thing it asks you to do is set up your Wi-Fi. So punched in my Wi-Fi credentials, moved on to the next step. Next step was asking me to update. And so I had to wait for quite a little while for it to update. Once it updated, boom, the next step was fingerprint sensor or security if you choose to do so. In my case, I went ahead and set up the security. And so it's good to go with that. And thank you, Google, for making the fingerprint sensor just as fast, if not faster than last year, because it was reading really well. After you set that up, then you are now at the home screen of your phone. And so for me, the first thing I noticed was kind of the washed out colors feel, kind of the dull colors. But overall, I mean, the phone still looks good, feels good in the hand. And now I want to get to what I want to talk about today. That was just the unboxing. So this phone right here, I mean, I've had the full 24 hours to use it. There's some good stuff, some bad stuff, and some stuff that could have done without. But overall, like the good, you know, obviously for the most part, the Pixel is you're getting that top quality performance. Anytime you're launching apps, you're doing everything. They pay attention to the small minor details. Like I noticed, like even when it comes to haptic feedback, like on the keyboard, I've never been excited about haptic feedback in a long time. Like it is just perfect. It's not overbearing like some keyboards, not keyboards, but some phones, like the haptic feedback when you're just touching stuff and that actual feedback will vibrate when you're touching the app. It is very subtle. It's like you hardly feel it, and it's almost like this is one of the best haptic feedback phones that I've had in a while. That design, I'm still not fond of it. It's like last year they took the same half-back design where you had the half glass, like a whole shirt. Now it's like you have a half shirt design now. I'm not really too much of a fan of that, but I've gotten used to it. But in hand, it still feels really comfortable. And I don't know, I guess over time, over 24 hours, I've started to like the design a little bit more. Also, the next thing I do like is the front-facing speakers. It's not the loudest that I've ever heard, but it's loud enough to the point where you're in your bedroom, you're chilling, watching videos before bed, and you're probably not turning it up all the way. You have enough to the point where you can have the speakers halfway turned up, about 50-60%, and you've got enough volume. But yeah, it's loud, it's clear, I like it. And of course, you have this always on display, which honestly, this is the best always on display that Google has done so far. As far as who's done it best so far, I'd say between Samsung and Motorola. I like their always on display. Motorola has an active display that you only use it when you need it, as soon as you lift it. That's what the Pixel tried to do last year. It didn't kind of turn out to real janky, but I'd rather much have them do the always on display. Battery life has been good, even with the always on display. I've gotten about 5 hours, and my battery was at 80% when I took it out the box. Used it the whole day, and I got about 5 hours before I put it to sleep at 4 a.m. last night. Next thing I want to talk about is, this is what a lot of people are excited about. This is what makes this phone really top of the hype right now. It's portrait mode. You have a single front-facing camera instead of having two cameras to use this portrait mode, so you can create that blur effect, that depth of field. And I took a couple pictures, and I'm gonna show them to you right here. So one of them I took, and the picture really did a good job. I took it in the dining room of my house, and the picture was like really blurred in the back. Some of them don't work too well. I took a picture of this Mario sip cup I have in my desk, and it was kind of cheesy. but yeah, the front-facing camera does a pretty good job from what I've seen. But a lot of the clips turned out pretty well. I'm really impressed with the camera. So thumbs up there, Google. Of course, you've got your waterproofing this year with the phone. To me, I try to protect my phone. I haven't really dumped my phone in a toilet bowl or nothing like that. So everything is good. But I'm glad they do have waterproofing just in case. It's IP67 water resistance. It's not 68 or 69. But that's good enough. But yeah, it feels real solid in the hand. It's definitely fast, as you would expect the Pixel to be. Performance is great. It's just the bad here. Bad here is that blue display. Like Erica Griffin, she is like queen of the sRGB standard, and supposedly Google has tuned this thing to sRGB to meet the standard, and she doesn't like it. So I think it's the blueness and the fact that the display isn't quite up to standard with Samsung as far as the latest technology, latest panels. According to her, 3 generations behind. But the problem that people are talking about, and this is, I guess, up for debate right now, is this display is just, some people are calling it trash. For me, once Joy Life actually did a video, you can go watch that too, where they had this side by side with the first Pixel, the OG Pixel, and they turned off the sRGB on the Pixel, and they basically matched. I think they turned off the sRGB on the Pixel, and they both matched the colors. They look the same on the phone. So ultimately, Google can obviously fix this with software. So, but the only problem with the display is, one, you look at the phone at a certain angle, and you're going to see blue hue on it. I see it. It's obvious. Sometimes, like when you're looking at YouTube videos, it can be a little disturbing because it's weird. But ultimately, it's really good. I mean, I don't really have a lot of issues with it. Once they send out an update for you to be able to change the colors or color profile, I'm not gonna have any issues with it. I can deal with that. But the question is, and I know this is where the debate is, should you accept Google's decision to put old technology in a phone, especially you're throwing a whole stack. When I say a stack, that means $1,000 or more. So if you just coughed up $1,000 like I did for this phone, you want to get the latest available, the best available, because there's panels. There's stuff that I've done. I've done comparisons. The Blade VA compared to other phones, even compared to the Moto Z, the colors were washed out. And what I am going to do is probably compare the colors, but either way, I'm fine with the way it is. At first, I was really disturbed, and I heard all this hype and all this kind of stuff. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. But other than that, those are kind of my first impressions. Battery, sound, display, performance. I haven't really come across any bugs, any software bugs yet that I know of. But I will keep you posted on that. But I just wanted to kind of touch base and just let you know, first day impressions of this phone is looking really good. And I know the screen can be a deal breaker. Some people don't like it. I'm deciding to keep it. The portrait mode is worth it. I just love it. Even the shortcut thing with the fingerprints sensor, being able to swipe down your notifications. That's pretty cool. We got Android 8 Oreo. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what Google's going to be putting out over the next year and all the enhancements and stuff. So they're trying to go to roll with the software. And so I trust Google will stick to their word with that. And we're going to see some noticeable improvements on this device in the next few months. So thumbs up so far for me. So stay tuned for more. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.